I'm hearing unfinished business. Okay. Um, I'm seeing a long stretch of road. Okay, super long stretch of road. It's kind of just empty, and someone, I'm hearing let's get the show on the road as well, right? So somebody really wants to move forwards, but it's like the vehicle they want to move in has constantly needed repair again and again, and what they realize is they need a whole new vehicle. This isn't the right vehicle, right? So whilst they handle the unfinished business of that vehicle, so that they can then kind of, I'm hearing, access this like sexy supercar as they move forward. It's like a whole new vibe, a whole new energy. Got the Ten of Pentacles then, and the Page of Wands did come out as well. So I'm getting this energy of a new adventure, right? But you can only go on the new adventure when you've got everything handled. The reason why, you've got to have the right, so everything needs to be in place, right? That structure, that stability. The reason that you need to find that healthy, balanced masculine within your inner divine masculine, because your masculine is your root, your stability, your groundedness, right? That's where you can take action from a place where it's like created the correct environment, the safety of the environment, right? And that's what someone's doing, the full new adventure. Makes sense. And that's kind of the road I was seeing actually in my vision. It's like just like Gaia and no one else, with the wheel at the bottom of the deck as well. So yeah, it's like someone's finally not allowing themselves to get distracted, to get swayed off their path. I think that from a young age they might have kind of carried this, Three of Swords energy. They might have carried this kind of these burdens that were kind of alchemized in ways that just ended up being behaviors that helped them to avoid wherever they needed to move, moving forwards, right? The actual divine path, right? So there's a lot of unhealed wounds, but I think this is where someone's really been, Page of Cups, again, 2 pages, like definitely, and the Justice card there. So definitely a younger energy that's coming through there. From a young age, someone had experienced, I'm here seeing like grief was in their heart, stored in their heart space. Yeah, 7 of Cups, and as a result, it transmuted as these decisions made that were just from a really unhealthy space. And I'm talking about across the board, right? So it could have been to do, I'm hearing like, even with money, the way they handled money wasn't healthy. They had get also their kind of sexual energy as well. There was a lot of temptations, pulls on their energy. Their self-worth was really, really, really shrunk. But the energy that's coming through is quite vibrant, so there's definitely a change here that's been taking place. 9 of Wands, yeah. Gosh, they've been resilient here. 7 of Wands as well. They've had to be. I think that it's kind of like they've had these like shock revelations or something that have helped them to realize that, oh my God, what is this? What am I doing? You know what I mean? That kind of energy. True awakenings, yeah. They're discovering their strength as a result of this, okay? I think that I'm hearing they're just not who they once were, truly. They're doing a lot of kind of assessment, Death card. A lot of assessment of who they've been, the decisions they made when they were younger, even as like growing up, the influences they had around them, that were drawing in on this, this really slowing down their path, right? Their true path of success, that sexy supercar came through for a reason. And though it might not be an actual, it's definitely, maybe it is, but it's definitely the energy of kind of vibrancy, abundance ahead, right? I'm not just talking about material success. I'm talking about, like they were just kept in this lower version of themselves. And I say lower, that sounds really, but with this Empress that's just come out, what I'm saying is this is someone who's not been in a healthy divine feminine energy, but that's because they need the divine masculine within them to ground. Okay, 6 of Cups. This could also be someone who kind of awoken them, to their true potential, if you will, their true path. Because the weight of the 10 of Wands, the weight of those burdens, the heavy burdens, it's like someone's had to really check themselves and really take assessment of everything that they've been storing within their heart space, within kind of their mind as well, right? That has really prevented them from saying yes to this new adventure, from this taking this new leap of faith with this Empress energy who's just there waiting on a throne saying, here I am. You know what I mean? Ready to receive the ultimate, knowing her worth, knowing her abundance, right? That's the difference. And someone's had to really look at that and think, oh, hold on a second. So black animals could be significant here. 4 of Swords, yeah. So if this is someone who's been silent, they've been in retreat mode, it's because they've been healing themselves. 3 of Swords to the 4 of Swords. They've been, again, the heart has been hurting, and now they've been understanding it in their mind space and clearing through that energy and not being stuck. Once upon a time, they used to allow that to get them stuck. They couldn't handle emotion. They weren't able to... I think they weren't able to communicate, but I think that they might also have jumped to conclusions as well. Okay, the Moon, that makes sense with the 7 of Cups. Definitely a lot of, I think that, yes, external subconscious programming, from society, that kind of thing, but also kind of their own, I'm hearing inner demons, right? Every internal battle that they have now been fighting that they weren't before. Before it was just being buried deeper and deeper beneath the surface. Distractions just being piled on top to avoid this, right? Page of Swords, brand new perspective on all of this. And I have a feeling this Empress energy has really ignited this in somebody. Okay, so that Divine Feminine, right? Divine Feminine, she's giving such a luxury vibes, I love it at the bottom of the deck there. She's giving this, just... I feel like there's this energy of that's my dream and that's what I want, right? 8 of Wands, I love that. Let's come out with the Strength card as well. Leo season could be significant for forward movement here, okay? Communication as well, but definitely some action that's being taken. Might seem small at the time, but it's something that is allowing you to move in the right direction. 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck again. 8 of Swords, something's going to come through and it's going to clarify so much that has been unsaid. So much has been left in the mind space to just something that was stuck that you weren't able actually, it feels like it wasn't a complete, again, unfinished business. It makes sense. It feels like there just wasn't this completed cycle, right? It's just been stuck in Hanged Man mode or something, but definitely has kept the mind really, it's like, well, someone's just not understood what's been happening, okay? Which can already lead to conclusions being made in that mind space that are just like, again, just not even real. It's just your own imagination with the 7 of Cups of the Moon, just your own way of handling situations and also understanding situations from past experiences, okay? Death, which isn't necessarily the case for future experiences or current experiences, okay? Death, Ace of Pentacles, which means that there is this I'm hearing like a finale, a closure of this 3 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Someone's really been carrying some kind of heavy weight, and it might have something to do with maybe even like a third party energy, but there's definitely that, that unfinished business, so that this new grounded energy can come through. I feel like it's been germinating. That's an interesting word. Well, I think that maybe a seed was planted and it's just been, it's kind of like it's been watered, but it hasn't sprouted yet, and it's now time to sprout. Right? 6 of Cups wanted to come out. Definitely something to do with I've had past life, but past experiences. Someone's inner child, definitely, they had not addressed so much that happened to them as an inner child. It was all kept hidden, and especially from those involved, it was just like hush hush kind of energies. And now it's time to address this. The Hierophant, higher levels, someone's reaching higher levels of their internal self, truly. They're accessing higher level soul lessons. They're seeing them differently, they're understanding them differently, whereas once upon a time they just, it was just seen as darkness and shadow, that not even seen as that, they just felt like this feeling and they didn't want it to bubble over, actually addressing it, so they'd quickly think it down, distractions, whatever it is that they needed to. There could also be something about a past connection or something that someone's handling the emotions of. There's been silence between, I'm seeing a connection now, there's been silence, and every time somebody wants to move forwards, they get stuck in their headspace. Every time they say, yeah, they say, okay, I want to do this, I want to move forwards and take this leap of faith, they get stuck. Okay, let's see, 4 of Wands, yeah. 4 of Wands energy, so definitely a stable foundation after someone's internal mind has not felt like a stable foundation, right? They're clearing through the mess. They're finding this kind of, I'm getting this energy of that inner alignment, right? High Priestess, so much left unsaid. My God, someone could also be peeping behind, again, a weird word to use, peeping, behind, maybe use that, behind the scenes, okay? Ten of Cups, this is someone's secret desires, okay? Someone's, I think that they might be learning things as well, maybe like esoteric kind of energies, you know, so unorthodox kind of ways of thinking, being, maybe just spiritual, whatever you want to call it. This is also possibly helping them to heal through and understand their experiences to this point in their life, okay? But I do think that someone's got a lot that they need to speak on, okay? That's why that 8 of Wands has come through as well, truly. Okay, and this, you know, if this is the divine feminine energy here that's coming through, she's definitely, there's some kind of progress is going to be happening for her. That small actions that she's taking, they're going to lead to something. Justice. Again, the Hierophant. They're leading to something to do with her, whatever she's working on, really important for her. I think that's to do with her kind of part of her purpose as well. I think there's something about her self-worth in that, okay, this divine feminine energy. You know, her self-worth in understanding what she's here for. I think it's been, you know, she's taken those small actions, but it's kind of like, where's the fruition of this? And it's coming, okay. Yeah, it's coming. Chariot, okay. So much like fire and drive to move forward away from this pain, this cycle of heaviness. I feel like someone just carried this for so long, being stuck in this like mental prison, you know, unanswered questions or whatever. And now it's just like, you know what, justice is coming in, divine justice. And divine will always handle it. Divine, true justice is divine, no matter who tries to handle it in earthly planes. King of Wands. Wow. Let's come out with that past connection energy as well. Someone wasn't ready to handle it. They were not ready to handle it. But again, they've had so many, okay, I'm not going to take these too many, but got the Emperor there. And, well, actually, the Emperor, Temperance, 8 of Cups. Someone definitely walked away here, okay, in the past. And they've been silent since, okay. Again, too many cards. Oh my God, they're falling everywhere. What's going on? Everywhere. That's interesting. I feel like this is, just as the King of Wands came out, it's like someone's just, it's like they've not been able to handle, okay, I'm hearing spilt milk. They've not been able to handle their emotions. They've not been able to articulate what they want to say. The Magician. Wow. The Magician. It's like as they're getting clearer in their mind space, 7 of Swords as well. As they're getting clearer in their mind space, they're understanding what they desire, right? And they're also seeing it more in their reality as opposed to just like, you know, fantasies behind the scene. I think that I'm not gonna lie, I think they might be a bit sneaky with how they're trying to bring this into the physical. Okay, you know, divine masculine is ready. The inner divine masculine really comes through. Look at that Tower. Divine masculine energy, and then there's 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Oh, really comes through. You know, with without masks, right? That's the courage of that divine masculine. He knows what he wants. He goes after it to get it, right? I think this is someone who's done that before, but it's not been in alignment, and it's just landed them in a mess, right? A mess. I think it's also because they haven't been operating from a more healed space, right? That's why that all the cards just kept pouring everywhere when the King of Wands came through and talk about confirmation, Knight of Wands. Their energy has just been instantly heard, boy, right? That is that card for me, but it's not always that, but in this message it clearly is, because that's the instant. So yeah, they have not handled their business well. Look at this. They've been allowed themselves to get distracted. These massive third party energies. This could be what I was mentioning before, you know, they ended up in this situation with somebody specifically drawing in on, it's that your energy that's coming through, you know, it's been completely out of balance. That's why their connections and their relationships have also followed suit, okay? There might have been distraction here. Look at this. though. We've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. That's the Ace of Pentacles again, 10 of Pentacles, King of Cups, okay. So there is this desire to move towards this much more grounded, stable new beginning. So what's the block? What is happening here? Why is somebody still stuck? What is going on? Ace of Swords. I think that they need to speak their truth, right? Clarity, Queen of one. Okay. I think that they might have had some, King of Cups has come out here. 10 of Pentacles. They need to be honest about their actual desires here, okay? Judgment card. I think that they thought they weren't healthy, these desires, and perhaps in a way they weren't. That's why that came through, that Knight of Wands, that message. So they need to be honest in order to like get this grounded stability where they can have this beautiful 10 of Pentacles. I mean, ultimate abundance, you know, you could want for nothing in that energy. And they desire this feminine energy very much so. Very attractive. Both energies here are very attractive. But someone's recognizing that they need to be honest about their emotions, their feelings. But also, I feel like there's something else that needs to be spoken on, you know, that secrecy, that secretive behavior there. And it could be that maybe they are pulled in with external energies very easily, you know. And maybe that's something they're working on and healing through, trying to balance that cycle. That's coming through quite a bit here in this energy. Playfulness, yeah. Okay. Religious factors. There could be something about religion here that's really important, not spoken on. Loving themselves first. Okay, so your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. This playful energy, it feels nice, right? But there's also this mindfulness of not kind of taking things too lightly, I think. That's what's happened before. Engagement, so that's not too lightly. That's like higher level of commitment. I think maybe somebody really does have this traditional view, especially with this religious energy, religious factors. Maybe they're brought up in an environment that, you know, this is right, that is wrong. That word sin is coming through, you know, whatever that means to somebody. How to do things properly, and they just haven't done that. Is what's coming through here, okay? So they've asked for support from others, but I think that might have been, you know, their downfall in that. Who were they asking for support from exactly? Deception. Not the right people. Not the right people. I think these are people who encourage them to continue to betray themselves, you know, and this situation, you know. This is why I'm getting that kind of energy of getting a whole brand new car, a much more suitable car, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, okay? Getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, okay? Children, your love life is being affected by children. That did make sense. I did say I love inner child energies here. There could be a child involved, maybe moving forwards. True love. Express your love. It's safe to love as well at the bottom of the deck. Someone really has deep feelings here. They just have no idea, or they have no idea how to handle this. They want to increase, like they want to access new levels. They want to invest in whatever this is, right? But I think that they've just had to clear through so much kind of programming of their mind of how to see the world, how to see their journey, how things should be, and also kind of you know, that secretive behavior that was coming through. It's kind of like they need to release that, they need to remove those masks now, and they know that in order to do that, whatever's behind that mask needs to be like have stepped up, because otherwise how can they come through with, you know what I mean? This is their mind. I'm thinking, well, how can I come through saying that I had all these masks and I'm not even stepped up, you know what I mean? So it's really interesting. It's like they're playing out a lot in their minds. Whatever this divine justice is that's coming through, it's going to be a complete shake-up. Like the environment is going to change. Everything is going to be different. With this beautiful King of Cups energy as well, someone's really, I think that, you know, oh my God, a new romantic cycle begins. This is divine connection energies, especially with that True Love card. This is actually really beautiful, I'm not going to lie. A time to give rather than take. Virgo, Libra energies. I think that the more that this divine feminine aligns on her path of purpose or whatever it is, you know, I feel like there might be something bigger beyond like moving forwards, but I think that whatever she's doing, the more she aligns with that, the more that she's allowing the room for this divine masculine to come through, right? Not so being so in the headspace with that. I don't think she is either. I think she's just been focusing on her, right? It's a time to release negativity. Yeah, that's when you can allow the goodness to come through, right? Does that make sense? So it's that energy of it's the energy of, yes, I think there's something about being, you know, allowing yourself to be adaptable. Yeah, the energy is gaining momentum. It's going to be need for being adaptable to whatever the situation is, because so as someone's really clear through this energy, like the drive they have to move forward is like nothing else. I mean, they are so excited about this. Honestly, they are. But I think, again, that's because they have that energy within them. They've been healing. Yeah, it's time to take action, isn't it? They've been healing through a lot. They really have. They need this time. And that's the beauty of it, is you gave both of you time to really step into who you're supposed to be. And for this next level, emotions are running high, new start is coming. There's going to be a lot of emotion here in terms of many things, actually. A personal issue reaches resolution. Be mindful of that, like passionate energy. Communication is key. Okay, so I think that once this clarity comes through, I'm hearing bursting through. Gosh, this is someone who has a lot of, it wouldn't shock me. Look, it wants to come through. A new start is coming. It wouldn't shock me if this is someone who's really like, you know, they can feel really like spontaneous. They still have it in a child. It's nice to have it, that inner child that still drives them. But sometimes it's like, you know, they need to keep themselves in check, if you will. Take the like reins on their own inner chariot, you know. Go find that inner balance. Time for healing. This is what they've been doing. They've been spending this time healing, doing exactly that. And now it's kind of like, okay, Judgment Day is coming. I don't know. I think they have somebody has some kind of something in their mind about what they want to do, when they want to do it. July is going to be important, truly. But I think that the Queen of Cups, oh my God, the King and Queen of Cups and the King and Queen of Wands. Wow. Yeah, emotional balance, stability. There's definitely passion here. I'm intrigued that the Emperor didn't actually come out. He did try to come through, but I think that there's going to be a conversation, right? Yeah, Two of Wands, that allows this new path to say, okay, we can create this moving forwards. We can explore this new energy, and it just feels so much more grounded. You know, it's not just like running off a high or like, oh, these fantasies. It's actually just like, okay, let's be real now. Yes. Oh my God, just as I said, the Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant, exactly that. Grounded, higher level, taking it more seriously than just like everything that's happened in the past. I think someone's really been through it with something to do with matters of the heart. You know, it could have been a real foundation that they had to like strip off. So yeah, really interesting. This message will resonate with who it needs to resonate with, right? I do feel like there's it's an interesting message. It's kind of like it doesn't want to come through properly. So I feel like this energy of wanting to be a bit of a surprise for someone because they deserve it, you know. Positive thoughts create positive results. Whatever's happening, focus on staying in your positivity because it's so easy, especially with like the cosmic energies, you know, that new moon last week. Whoa, you know, we've got some planets retrograding soon. Spend time outdoors to connect with nature, you know, shield your energy. Don't get too stuck in your mind space, right? And also trust your feelings. When this comes through, I think that someone might be a bit resistant to their feelings, to actually wanting to say yes to this because of everything that has happened. Okay. But deep down, when I say this, I can feel the passion, like not even just passion as in like a, you know, chemical spark, you know, or whatever. I'm talking about like genuinely, like I can feel it deep within me. There's something here that someone wants to explore, but I think that there's just going to be this energy, this innocence, this energy of like reclaiming that, again, innocent playfulness, reclaiming that space for that inner child to have safety, you know, for both of you, for whoever's in this situation. Decide to be happy now. You have to release what isn't for you, what is unhealthy, and you have to do that, including this situation as what it once was. You know what I mean? Kind of like, okay, it's time for a transmutation, a transformation, a rebirth of, you know, sense of humor, looking at things from a more positive, optimistic space, so you can really allow yourself to create the forwards, kind of the projection ahead now, without the fears, without the negativity, but focusing on this beautiful energy that's really got this vibrancy to it, yeah, from the heart space. That's what feels like it's coming, and much more grounded, stable, but it's going to start small, and you need to stay focused on your alignment right now. whatever this is, there's much more groundedness to it, much more maturity. Someone really needs to stop creating scenarios in their own mind from what they think they're seeing, you know, which is why communication is going to be really important, that clarity, and not allow it, like, external voices to add to the falsity of whatever this is, you know. It's time to move away from what isn't in alignment, and you've known this for a long time, I feel like, you know what I mean? And it can be hard, you know. Oh my God, guess who made the appearance? The Emperor, very last card as well. Shuffling and shuffling, okay. Wow, this is big. This is why it feels very more grounded. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, so much excitement and passion. It feels way more grounded, way more stable. Even though that passion, that fire is like, this is a power couple. I'm not going to lie, this is really power couple energies. You've got the heart space in the right space. You've got the alignment of the, you know, the, I feel like you're going to really set, I mean, obviously you're going to have that sexual energy. That's just going to be so in alignment, which you would in the divine connection. But I think there's a lot that you're going to just really allow yourselves to take seriously. You're going to be in a position where you're going to, I think that this divine feminine is going to receive more than she has in this connection before, and it's about time is what I'm hearing as well. And that's why there's going to be so much emotion, because it's just going to be, it's going to be this need to say, okay, let me just, after everything that I've thought I'd let go of, it's time to just understand what's coming next, right? And be honest with yourself. It's okay to want what you want, but of course you need stability, trust, okay? And it is safe for your loved ones, as I say, your loved ones are safe as well, okay? So there's going to be a beautiful energy of creating something really gorgeous here, okay? And it's going to allow you both to find alignment with yourselves, because you've been finding it within yourselves. It feels like this is a divine feminine energy, has definitely got that inner kind of integrity, you know, stability, real strong values, which I think that the divine masculine has had to really understand within his own journey, having to kind of, I think that they've just been pulled a lot, you know, and allowed themselves to be, again, they've had a lot of people around them that have been really allowing them to be in that energy, you know, the temptations or whatever it is, you know, those pulls on their lower energies. This is something I've really had to understand better, right? So they're still understanding that as they come forwards, but they're in a position where they really want this. They want to do this together. They really do, okay? And like I said, this is giving power couple vibes, and I think that there's going to be something you might birth together here, something important, okay? Moving forwards, first, clarity, communication, stability, okay? So the trust is created, and that foundation where you can truly flourish, right? Without all the external energies trying to pull you down, okay? It's going to be really important to allow the divine masculine to take the lead here, because every time he's tried to take action, he's kind of fallen, like, you know, I'd say prey to all these external energies, whatever it is, you know, even his internal mind space. Now it's kind of like he needs to, in order to step into that divine masculine, he needs to embody that confident energy. Even when he's being tested with whatever these temptations are, or even his own subconscious mind or whatever, it's time for him to step up now. And that's what it feels like. It really is. That's why the divine feminine, I feel like she's just going to be in receptive mode. She needs to receive, right, while staying in her alignment, her divine love, her divine truth, because this is now time for him to take that action, to step up, okay? And he needs to, not just for the connection, but for himself, for his own journey, his divine path. It's so important. Also, it might come through, because it might be a bit masked, you know, a bit not used to feeling vulnerable. It might still be a bit, just be mindful, allow yourself, you don't have to respond, you know, just give yourself time, give him time to recognize how he's reacting and responding as well. And don't forget, in a divine connection, you literally are each other's like mirrors, souls that you are mirroring to each other, right? So you're literally teaching each other, you're showing each other, okay, not by saying so, but, you know, into generally just by allowing yourself to do what feels right to you, you know, so you don't have to respond to something that isn't in alignment. And they will know, trust me, they will know exactly what they're doing. And when this is why they need to be ready to step up, because that's when you know they're ready, because they'll say, okay, you know what, let me do this properly, because they know, okay. And once you both know that you're both safe in this, I think that's when you're truly going to propel. I mean, wow, yeah, it feels beautiful. It feels like currently the divine feminine is working on her like finances, her purpose, her abundant path, whereas the divine masculine is really working on his kind of addictive energies, you know, that kind of sacral energy, you know, even that creativity that he's kind of really had to hone in on, embody in a new way, okay? So these are like the individual journeys, and when you come together, you're going to be able to speak on that, be honest, and like move forwards in a new, clearer path together with these new versions of who you are for this new start. That's beautiful. New romantic cycle. Okay, let me know if this message was for you. Sending love.